Welcome back, beautiful people. It's your TTA Pro, Mr. O, back with another digital SAT episode. Today, we're going to be working on questions related to domain number 1, information and ideas, inferences. So these questions, first of all, they're usually some of the hardest questions on the digital SAT. You'll find them between questions number 5 to 16. You'll probably have maybe 2 questions that focus on this skill, maybe 3 in module 1. In module 2, if you got the harder module, you should see more of these questions, right? If you're seeing the module 2, you should see more of these questions. Now, what do they require, or what do they look for? Basically, these questions look for you to apply information from the text to the question itself. So basically, this type of question is going to ask you about a logical conclusion. It's going to ask you about logical conclusion. What is the most logical thing we can say from the text? Now, a lot of students, they have a problem with this type of question because they go beyond the text. Think of it like this: x plus y equals z. That's the formula we use, right? I made it mathematical, right? X plus y equals z. It's the formula we use to be able to reach an answer choice. Or in other terms, 1 plus 1 equals 2. So 1, that's the text, plus 1, this is the question, equals 2, this is the logical conclusion. Or another way, 1 plus 1 equals 2, that means idea number 1 plus idea number 2 equals idea number 3. I like to test students on these types of questions by giving them a little one of my own, right? Let me make it nice and big for you guys to see. Giving them one on my own. So let's say Omar made the highest test score in his class. What can we infer about Omar's class? Right? It's a little test I give people to see if we can actually logically draw conclusions, right? If we can logically draw conclusions. So let me ask Ahmed, right?
Yes,
Omar made the highest test score in his class. What can we infer about Omar's class?
it may be good or maybe bad. Maybe Omar is the best student, or maybe the class is just bad, so Omar got the best mark.
How can you infer all of that? Wow, where'd you get this information from? Omar is the best student. How do you know?
Omar, because he got the high, or maybe the class didn't study, but Omar did.
Omar studied the class. How do you know from the text?
It doesn't say.
It doesn't say. See that? You're going beyond. And that's what we have to do. We have to be able to control ourselves, right? When we can't go beyond the text. The text only tells me Omar made the highest test score in his class. What can we infer about Omar's class? So let me ask Noor. So Noor, what can we infer about Omar's class?
Okay, so we know that Omar made the highest score, so there can be many reasons, but not specific one. You can
It needs
either
to
say
come
the
from the
class is
text.
bad or Omar.
What can you infer about the class?
Exactly.
No, there's enough information given.
The class got, yes, but what you can get from the text is that the class got lower than Omar.
Very good job,
Am I making
Noor.
sense?
You're making perfect sense. Very good job there. So the only thing we can actually say from this text is the class made lower marks. You can't say anything else. You can't say Omar studied. It's not supported in the text. You can't say the class was bad. Omar could be bad too. We don't know this. You can't say the class didn't study. We don't know this either. Maybe the class did study. They just Omar made the highest score. You can't say Omar is the best student because maybe he's the worst student in this test. He got the highest score. A lot of maybes. But the only thing that's not a maybe is the class made a lower score. You see how weird this is? It's along the lines of thinking like, for example, Omar is a boy. Omar is tall. Can we say all boys are tall? Can we say that, Sama? Omar is a boy. Idea number one. Idea number two. Omar is tall. Can we say all boys are tall?
No,
No. Why?
because it doesn't say in the text that all boys are tall.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do. This is a 1+1 idea. And people would say this is 2. No, we have to make sure we control our inferences, and the inference stays within the actual limit of the text. Okay, the inference stays within the limit of the text. So let's jump into the practice here. Now, you're going to find more complex vocabulary with these questions. You're going to find more complex structure, more complex vocabulary and structure with these questions, which is okay, because also we want to get used to adapting ourselves to higher level text at this point, right? Yeah, we're still in the beginning and all, but for me, I want you guys to start adapting. So let's actually begin with question number 1. Now, again, I want you guys now to see in slow motion how we can break this down, or how we can work on these questions. So let me begin with, well, let's continue with Sama, right? 1 + 1 = 2. So with these types of questions, we actually have to take each idea separately to make one conclusion. On average, this type of question should take about 2 minutes plus. So 2 minutes, 15 seconds, 2 minutes, 30 seconds. So they do require longer time than a grammar question or a vocabulary question. So also give it its due time. Let's begin with Sama. Sama, can you read sentence number 1 for me?
The metabolic cost of cold acclimatization is significant.
Okay, so what does the first sentence tell us?
What does it?
Acclimatization means to acclimate, to get used to something, right?
Okay, so like the adaptation of the metabolic cost of cold is a lot.
It's a lot.
Significant.
Very good job, right? So look at idea number 1. It's the cost of cold adaptation is high. Okay, let's look at idea number 2.
Terrestrial plants and animals have high costs of enduring extremely cold temperatures in terms of energy
Expenditure.
and these costs increase as temperatures cool, suggesting that fewer species have evolved to thrive in such environments.
Okay, what does idea number 2 tell us?
That the plants and animals can have high costs. Like
We already know this from idea number 1. I want you to look at the result of this cost.
they increase as temperatures cool.
Okay, what is the result of this?
That fewer species evolve to thrive in such environments.
Okay, what does that last part mean?
Like the fewer species don't go to those environments.
Yeah, decrease number of species in these environments, right? Why?
Because of the cool temperatures.
The high cost of the cold. Very good job. I want you to continue to the next sentence.
Combined with the decrease in air temperatures with increasing altitude, This factor explains the spread of biodiversity in mountain habitats.
Okay.
Complete.
What does the third idea tell us?
Um, that other places, like more species go to, there's spread of biodiversity in mountain habitats.
So we can say mountains have less biodiversity, right? Now, let's look at the last idea.
You find fewer species high up a mountain than the mountain's base because
Okay, so look at this. You find fewer species high up the mountain than at the mountain's base because. Why do you
the
think that
adaptation
happens?
there.
Because of what?
The adaptation there is hard.
Because the
it's cold.
adaptation is harder. Because what else?
Because it doesn't have much biodiversity. Not enough land
Because
for food.
because of
Um,
the
plants that don't survive in
high metabolic cost, right? Because
yeah.
it's saying, what is the text saying, guys? The text is telling us that metabolic cost of cold adaptation is very high. The high cost decreases the number of species in these environments. Mountains have less biodiversity, so the higher you go, the less number of species you'll find. Okay, so you find fewer species high up the mountain because of what? I want you now to check the answer choices. Read answer A.
Me?
Yes.
There are relatively few environments hospitable to species that are adapted to live in low air temperatures.
What do you think of answer A? It needs to be related to our three ideas.
It's not that related.
It's not really related, right? There are relatively few environments hospitable. It's not about the environment. It's about the
About the high cost.
adaptation to the environment. Yeah, the high cost of adaptation to the environment. What about answer B?
There are relatively few species with the adaptation necessary to tolerate the temperatures at high elevations.
What do you think about answer B?
It says that it talks about a different perspective of the, like it's not related
Okay, what makes it not related?
because it says that the few species adapt to the temperatures of high elevations. It doesn't say that
It's not about, okay, but now we have to put pieces together. So idea number one, the cost of adaptation is high, correct? And because the cost of adaptation is high, very few animals adapt to the cold. And so the higher you go, the less animals you find. Because what? Because there are few animal species with these adaptations. So you have to put these pieces together. The text won't tell you directly. You have to put it together indirectly, right? The high cost of adaptation, there's a high cost of adaptation. Because there's a high cost of that adaptation, few animals actually adapt to the cold. That means the higher you go up the mountain, the few species you find because there are few animals with these adaptations. So answer B would be the best answer. Okay. If you look at answer C, adaptations that allow plants and animals to survive in rocky environments are metabolically costly. Well, actually, we're not really talking about rocky environments. We're talking about cold environments. And answer D, some mountain environments are at elevation so high that no plants or animals can survive them, but we're talking about areas where they can survive. So it's not about how high they are. It's about the coldness of the adaptation itself. It's about the cold. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, get ready. Ahmed, you're next.
Yes.
So I want you guys to be able, as we're working through, I want you guys, if you can send me an answer as well, Omar and Muhammad and Noor and Sama, that would be cool. But again, I want you to pay attention to putting the pieces together. Putting the pieces together. And it's all about breaking it piece by piece. So let's go to sentence number 1. Ahmed.
Yes. Do I read?
Yeah.
Okay. Many organisms, including humans.
Whoa, slow down, take your time. A big problem is, digital SAT really puts stresses, careful reading, okay? Never
Okay.
skim. Cool. Let's try again.
Many organisms, including humans, need sleep, and it's been known to play an important role in everything from healing wounds to storing information in long-term memory.
So what does
Still,
idea number 1 tell us?
sleeping is really important for humans to store
Sleep
long-term memory.
is, I don't need the small details. Sleep is important. Now remember, if you take it all at once, you'll be overwhelmed. So that's why I say take it idea by idea. Let's go to idea number 2.
Still, other scientists argue that hours of deep sleep make animals so vulnerable evolutionarily that the recognized benefits of sheep are insufficient to explain why sleep is common in the animal kingdom.
What does idea number 2 tell us?
That some scientists argue that lots of hours of sleep isn't
I know how to read. Tell me in your own words.
okay. Hours of deep sleep is bad for animals.
Is or should be bad evolutionarily, right? Okay, now idea number 3. Read it for me.
These scientists therefore imply that
Okay. What do they imply? I want you to put these 2 ideas together. You can either have an idea of an answer or you can check the answer choices, but remember, they need to come from the text. Let's check out answer A. What do they imply?
answer A, it is important. It's more important to understand.
Read nice and loud, Ahmed Tariq, so the rest of the group can hear you,
Sorry, I
sir.
thought you wanted me to say what's the idea.
Okay.
It is more important to understand how widespread prolonged deep sleep is than to understand its functions. No,
Okay. Why no?
because it doesn't explain the secondary.
Okay.
Do I read the second?
What do you think, Mr. Ahmed?
Do I say the answer or read the second?
No, read it and tell me what you think
Okay.
is the correct or incorrect.
Prolonged deep sleep is likely advantageous in ways that have yet to be discovered. Also,
Why?
it doesn't explain the second one also.
Okay, now hold on now. We're not looking to explain anything. Just remember what is the goal of this question? What is the objective of this question?
See which one completes the text.
What completes the text? So how would we know an idea completes the text?
If it fits into the paragraph.
And how would we know it fits into the paragraph?
By figuring out what's the ideas and then finding which one.
1 plus 1. So it has to be a mix of these 2 ideas. Okay, so we can draw a conclusion. So you're telling me answer B. Why would answer B be incorrect according to you?
Because
Because what, sir?
Because it doesn't make the 1 plus 1 rule.
Okay. Answer C.
Many traits that provide significant benefits for an animal also likely pose a risk to the animal. It's not related to the first one.
It's not related to the discussion at all. It's off topic. What about answer D?
Most traits perform functions that are hard to understand from an evolutionary standpoint. It explains or how sleeping is hard to understand.
So you're telling me answer D, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now, I want you guys to pay attention what just happened here. And this is really important because this will happen on the exam. What did me and Ahmed do? We went through the answer choices, correct? We went through answer A, through answer B, through answer C, correct? And we're left with answer D. A lot of students, because they eliminated the 3 other answers, would choose answer D, okay? Does anyone else have a different answer choice? Omar, Noor, Muhammad, Sama. Would anyone else have a different answer choice? Okay, so I see a lot of different answers. So let's go to Omar, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me.
Yeah,
Support
I
your
guess.
answer.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's B because he said that sleep can be bad for animals.
Mm.
Yeah, so he said that.
What does it say? No
Probably.
sleep can be bad for animals. Or she.
What?
We don't know if it's a he or she. How do we know the author says no sleep is bad for the animals?
No, the deep sleep, especially not the sleep like normal sleep. He said here. Still, other scientists argue that hours of deep sleep makes animals so vulnerable, and evolutionarily, that's the
That's bad.
recognized.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Here he said prolonged deep sleep is likely adventitious in way that have yet to be discovered. He didn't like he didn't say that the idea that sleep is important for humans.
I'm a bit
But
confused, honestly, Omar, by what you're trying to tell me right now.
I don't know,
Can,
I feel like,
can we take it back? Can we start again?
yeah, we can start again, sure.
How does your answer B fit in the discussion here? How does your answer B become a 1 + 1 = 2 situation? Or X + Y = Z?
It's more likely to be like 1 + 0.5 = 2.
Okay.
I feel like it doesn't discuss the first idea as well, but it's more like like I feel like there is no other ideas or any other answers that discuss the both ideas together. Like it's not there in answer A. For my opinion, like I can see that it's not A or C or D discuss also the first idea or the second idea.
Just know there has to be an answer.
I know
Okay.
there has to be answer,
Okay.
but
And there's no such thing as a closest answer. No, there's just this is the answer, and the other answer choices are incorrect.
yeah, I know.
Okay. Let's go to Noor. Noor, you told me answer A. Why?
I kind of did an elimination process, so I think C and D are wrong because they're talking about traits in general, while
C and
in
D
the
are wrong
passage
100%, right? They're talking about traits, but the passage is discussing
talking about sleep.
sleep, right? No, we're not talking about traits. Too vague, too broad. Okay. So we're left with answer A and B.
B is wrong because prolonged sleep is likely advantageous in a way that yet to be discovered.
Guys, by the way, the
This
word is
causes
advantageous, not adventurous. Advantageous, but continue. Because you're the
sorry,
third
the
person to say
mispronunciation.
this. So anyway.
Sorry. Okay, so what I mean is that this one focus on the second idea only. It does not join the two of them. Saying
Okay.
that in the passage when he said that the recognized benefit of sleep are insufficient to explain why sleep is so common in animals. So meaning that the benefits of sleep are not enough to say like I, I don't know how to explain, but what I mean is that this one are saying these advantages for deep sleep. When the passage did not like say anything about it. They could be, but I believe it's kind of off point.
Sama, you never told me an answer. Muhammad, you never told me an answer. Okay. So the answer here, guys, the answer is B. Okay. A lot of people are gonna be like, what? How? We have to think about it this way. Okay. Look at idea number 1. Sleep is important, right? So sleep is important. Sleep is important. This is idea number one. And then idea number two tells us the benefits of sleep, right, that we know of, the recognized benefits of sleep that we know of, right, from an evolutionary standpoint is actually bad, right? It's insufficient to explain, right? It's bad, right? Because you're left vulnerable. So sleep is important. Every animal sleeps. Idea number two, the benefits that we know of sleep don't explain sleep. So idea number three, there are other reasons that we need sleep than the reasons that we know of, right? Because we don't know the reasons we need the sleep, but we do know we need the sleep. So therefore, there are other reasons that might explain the reason we need sleep evolutionarily that we don't know of yet. So answer B is the best answer. Prolonged deep sleep is likely advantageous in ways that have yet to be discovered, in ways that can help explain the evolutionary aspect of sleep. Questions there? So these questions, it takes time to get used to the style or the structure, because you don't do this in school, right? In school, you don't have, well, let's logically complete, but you do have inferences you can make, right? You can do inferences you can make. I'll give you another example, right? Let's say, for example, idea number one, the sky is cloudy, right? Idea number two, Sama goes outside. Idea number three, Sama comes back home wet. What can we infer about the weather? Right? What can we infer about the weather? Can someone tell me? What can we infer about the weather? That it is raining, right? Because the sky is cloudy, Sama goes outside, she comes back home wet. The only thing we can infer is it's raining. It's not a hose, or that's the best inference we can make. It's the same way of thinking. Obviously, in school, you don't have these mental exercises. Whose turn is it now? Let's go to Mr. Noor. I think it's your turn this time. Next up is Muhammad. Get ready, Mr. Muhammad, also. And please, if you have an answer choice, let me know. If you have an answer choice, let me know. Noor, can you read for me, sir?
Companies whose products are comparable to those of their competitors often employ brand differentiation marketing strategies in an attempt to convince consumers to identify a brand with a distinctive character. For example, thinking their brand of fried rice is a healthy brand when it is actually the same rice.
Okay, stop right there.
There's
Stop right there. Idea number one. What is it about?
Companies can show you that one company is better than the other, or try to fool you that one company is better than the other for marketing reasons.
So it's called brand differentiation. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, here, I'm sorry, there's a typo here. There's a little bit difference between the brands and varieties. Let's continue into sentence number two.
Jay Singh and Francis Dal-Olmo studied consumers' perception of such products and found that consumers perceive competing brands to have roughly the same attributes, and that any differences in the strengths of consumers' associations with brands with attributes can be interpreted with different market share to explain. The
Okay,
more
what is
popular a brand is, the stronger the association with it will be, suggesting that Ash.
okay, so we could say differentiation is popularity. Right? Very
Mhm.
good job. And then finally, oh, here, the more popular a brand is, the stronger the association with it will be, suggesting that. Okay, so companies use brand differentiation, although they're the same thing. Okay, and the second idea, what does it tell us? Well, the differentiation itself is popularity. What can we logically conclude in this text? Check out the answers, Mr. Noor.
So, consumers tend to perceive products with high market share more positively than they perceive products with low market share.
Yay, nay, or may?
May. I already this one's me.
Let's say may. Okay, cool. Now, also, I want you guys to keep in mind, it's not a zero-sum game. That means it's not a yes or a no. It could be maybe. Always keep maybe in your pocket. So, answer A, we might say may. Let's continue. Mr. Noor.
Marketing aimed at brand differentiation influences consumers' perception of branded products but not consumers' purchasing behavior. I don't think so is correct.
What makes you say you don't think so?
Said that marketing aimed at brand differentiations influences consumers' perception of brand products but not consumers' purchasing behavior. Like it influences the choice of brands but not how they purchase stuff. So
Okay. So influences how they see a brand, but not the
but
actual
not how they
purchasing.
purchase.
Yeah. What do you think about
I
answer B?
don't
You said
believe
no.
that.
Yeah. It's not mentioned. It's not supported. Good. What about answer C?
Marketing efforts focused on brand differentiation don't have much effect on consumers' perception of branded product attributes. Oh, it's still low. I don't think so.
Okay. Why?
Is that marketing efforts focused on brand differentiations don't have much effect on consumers' perception as like the way they look at brands, so still it's not supported.
It's
But
not
I don't
supported.
believe so.
Okay.
Differences in consumers' perception of product attributes are less influenced by brand differentiation than by actual differences between products.
I want the rest of you to send me the answer choice as well. What you think is the best answer?
Okay, so this is what perception of product is unless influenced by brand differentiation than actual differences between products. I think that's SD. I don't
You
know
think the
why, but I
answer
just have a feeling.
is D. Sama, send me an answer, please. Muhammad, send me an answer, please. Ahmed, send me an answer, please. Okay, Sama. Okay, Ahmed. Okay, cool. So, Noor, let me ask you a question now. What is the passage about?
Differentiation clarity as like how advertisement and marketing is done.
Okay, so advertising and marketing. And so what do the what do advertising marketers do? Or what is it discussing in advertising and marketing?
The way they can make people like a specific product more than the other.
Okay, what is it called? Brand differentiation, correct?
Yes.
What is brand differentiation?
Brand differentiation is a way to show that a brand is different than the rest.
It's a way to show a brand is different from the rest, correct? Now, does brand differentiation, according to the text, influence the customer?
Yes.
No,
No.
no, because they found that consumers perceive competing brands to have roughly the same attributes. So what influences a customer's decision or perception?
Can you repeat the question?
What influences a consumer's perception on a brand? What influences a consumer's point of view or feelings on a brand?
they behave the same, I think. Like, I don't know.
The popularity of the brand. Right? The
Yes.
popularity of the brand. So now that we know this, what can we say about the strategy of brand differentiation?
So the strategy is to make the brand more popular.
One more time. Idea number one. Pay attention, guys. Idea
Mm.
number one. We're talking about brand differentiation, which shows the differences in the brand. Okay. Let me actually write this stuff down so you guys can see it. Right here. Okay. So talk about brand differentiation and how it shows differences of a brand to consumers. Okay. Idea number two, consumers don't care about brand differentiation. They care more about the popularity of that brand. Correct or no? Am I correct so far?
Yes.
So what can we say about the effectiveness of brand differentiation?
Not so effective.
It's not effective. What's more effective?
Popularity.
Popularity. Okay. So I want you to go back to the answer choices. Which choice logically completes the text, right? The stronger a brand is, or the more popular brand is, the stronger the association with it will be. Suggesting what, Ba? Suggesting that brand differentiation is ineffective. Brand differentiation is not a good strategy. Brand differentiation is not as effective as a marketer might think.
That's I see.
No.
Still,
Excuse me. Let me read C. I'm sorry. Enter C. Yeah, my apologies. I misread. I thought you said something else. Marketing efforts focused on brand differentiation do not have an effect on consumers' perceptions of branded products. Idea number one, marketers use brand differentiation. Idea number two, brand differentiation is ineffective. So idea number three, brand differentiation doesn't affect consumer perceptions, right? Answer A, consumers tend to perceive products with high market share more positively than they perceive products with low market share. We don't know if it's, number one, it's not products. Number two, we don't know if it's more positive or negative. We know that a popular brand with high market share has a stronger association with the product, but we don't know if that association is positive or negative. Like, for example, Exxon Oil. I think I spelled that correctly, right? They have a strong association with oil. But is this association a positive or negative one? Usually a negative association. Or Shell also. Shell, the brand Shell, very popular. You know, it is all about oil. So it's connected, but it's a negative perception, right? Shell has a very negative perception as a company. So we don't know if it's a positive or negative attribution. We don't know if it's a positive or negative connection. Answer B, marketing aimed at brand differentiation influences consumer perceptions. This is the opposite of the text. The text clearly says the influence does not come from brand differentiation. The influence comes from the popularity of that brand. Okay. And answer D, differences in consumer perceptions of products attributes are less influenced by brand differentiation than by actual differences between the products. This again, no, because the text tells us the differences between the products, they're the same, or they're not many differences. So answer C is the best answer here, that brand differentiation, the topic of the text, is not as effective as you might think. Wow, okay. Okay. Let's go to Muhammad. Let's go to Muhammad. Let's see this one.
Yes.
You ready, Mr. Muhammad? Ready for this?
Yes.
Okay, let's bring the heat. Let's bring the heat. Shall we begin, sir?
أوصل كونان توريس about the detective Sherlock Holmes were published between 1887 and 1927.
So in English, when we
Say-
read, it's 1887, 1927. What's the text about?
About Sherlock Holmes.
Sherlock Holmes, right? Okay, cool. Let's continue.
They have inspired countless popular adaptations, including manga film and the Sherlock Holmes TV series, directed by renowned animated film director Hayao Miyazaki.
Okay, so what's the second idea about?
Uh, Sherlock inspired many popular adaptations.
Yeah, popular adaptations, right? Many different things like manga, film, whatever. Let's continue reading.
In the year 2014, these works were protected by copyright.
Okay, what does the third idea tell us?
Uh, uh, the work was protected by copyright.
Okay, before 2014. Okay, very good job. Let's continue reading.
Adaptation rights are limited to those who are able to pay the royalties and obtain the consent of the estate copyright owner.
Okay, so what does the fourth idea tell us?
Uh, People were paying for the Sherlock Holmes,
People will pay for what?
the royalties.
The copyright.
Yes.
Okay, let's read the last idea.
Some journalists predict that the number of Sherlock Holmes adaptations is likely to increase 10% of copyright.
So if we end the copyright, what would that mean, Mr. Muhammad?
It means it was said Sherlock protection adaptation will be cheap.
Okay, so what is the best answer here?
Answer A.
Answer A. Very good job. Producing adaptations will become easier and less expensive. Look at all of the ideas. Answer A is the embodiment or the result of all of that. Sherlock Holmes published, it was popular, it was copyrighted, copyright cost money. If you remove the copyright, then you'll pay less money. Okay, let's do the last question here. Let me get you guys a good one. All right, let me get you guys a good one. Okay, 1 second. Question number 4. All right, so now what I'm going to give you guys, I'm going to give you guys 3 minutes to read the text, and I want you to send me what you think to be the best answer. Okay, I want you to send me what you think to be the best answer. Do I get the timer going? Where's my timer? Okay, let's begin. Okay, Ahmed, very good job. Okay, Muhammad, very good job. Oh, you don't see the timer, I think, do you? No, I think you do see it. I know you don't see it. 20 seconds left. Omar, very good job. Sama Noor. Sama, very good job. Noor, did you tell me an answer? And time. Mrs. Sama. How did you reach that answer?
I eliminated the first three because I found them kind of off topic.
Okay, what about answer D though?
I thought like because the three are eliminated, I thought the D is the one correct.
Although you are correct, that we should find confirmation for our answer choice because this is an evidence-based question. Okay, so always practice that. Let me ask Omar. Omar, you told me answer D. What support do you have for answer D?
He said that some bacteria in Italiana leaves and fruits may share common source. He said that researchers pointed a common approximate rainwater, emphasized that rainwater splashed from the ground may introduce soil-based bacteria to the leaves. That means that they may share a common source. You know?
Yeah, I do know. Very good job, sir. All right, beautiful people. If you're watching the video, jump into the practice. You can learn anything, Mr. Sama. Out.